Wallahi, this dunya, nothing is forever. Anyone and everyone in this world, if you push the right buttons, they will disown you. You know, you can work for a company. You can work for a company and give them the best years of your life. Work there for 30 years straight. You never took a day off. You never took a sick day. You were there 10 minutes before work and 10 minutes after work. And wallahi, even this company, they have a schedule. They have rules and regulations that if you break them, know that you're gone, you're done, you're finished. Your own mother, does anyone in this world, is there any doubt in anyone's mind that there's someone other than your mother that loves you? And is there anyone that loves you more than your mother? Impossible. Wallahi, even your mother, if you push the right buttons, she'll disown you. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the King, He says, oh my slaves, do whatever you please. Do it 1,000,000 times. Disobey me. Do whatever you want for 10 years, 20 years, 30 years, 40 years, 50, 60 years. You never prayed. You never fasted. Sin among sin. And then once, only once, you turn to me and you say, Ya Rabb. Allah says, Ya Abdi, Naam, what do you want, man? What do you want? Allah forgives. Now you don't need to read a book. You don't need to sign up or an application. Now, right now, between you and Allah. And no one can take that away from you. Turn to Allah. Allah says, my slave, if you come to me with an earth load of sin, but you don't associate partners with me, I will come to you with forgiveness that matches it.
Nobody will be able to understand your pain but Allah. So talk to Allah, connect with Him. It will help you. It will give you a reason to look forward to tomorrow.
Some Jews, they came to Musa alayhi salatu wassalam, and they asked Musa, they said, oh Musa, does Allah sleep? So Musa asks Allah, he says, oh Allah, do you sleep? So Allah answers Musa. He says, Musa, tonight you have to stand the whole night. And you have to hold 2 glass bottles. And you can't sleep. So Musa, being a prophet, he does as instructed. He stands up holding his 2 glass bottles. The first part of the night passes by, his eyelids are getting heavy. And before the night could finish, he fell asleep, he falls to the floor, and the glass bottles come crushing down. So the angels, they returned to Musa and they said, oh Musa, if Allah was to sleep but just for a moment, the 7 heavens would come crushing down onto the earth like your bottles smashed the floor.
The Prophet of Allah in the authentic hadith, speaking to Sahaba, speaking to the greatest ummah that ever walked the earth, speaking to your fathers, speaking to a ummah that happily gave their lives for the pleasure of Allah. People who did the utmost, the biggest sacrifices, and they deemed themselves as the most insignificant people. Today you do nothing and you think you're up there. They did everything and they thought that they were down there. The Prophet of Allah speaking to them, he says, none of you, who's he speaking to? He says, none of you will enter Jannah through your actions. None. The Prophet of Allah saying to Sahaba, none of you will enter Jannah through your actions. None. So they asked the Prophet of Allah, even you? He says, yeah, even me. Sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. The greatest mujahid was Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. The greatest teacher was Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. The greatest father was Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. The greatest husband was Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. The greatest mercy to humanity was Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. The greatest abid to ever worship Allah Azza wa Jal was Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. The greatest messenger to ever walk the earth was Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. The greatest prophet to ever ever received revelation was Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. The greatest creation that Allah ever created was Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. And he says, even me. Except and only if Allah Azza wa Jal was to show mercy upon me.
Ya Allah, we have had a beautiful, blessed month. Ya Allah, accept it from us. Ya Allah, grant us sincerity in our deeds. Ya Allah, strengthen us so we can change our lives to please you, Ya Allah. Ya Allah, strengthen us so we can change our lives to please you. Ya Allah, we know that this worldly life is a few years. Ya Allah, we know that no matter how healthy we are today, we have to die today or tomorrow. Ya Allah, we know that no matter how wealthy we are, we still have to return